All right, so guys, listen. Um, every single day, guys, when I come to you, my duty, my responsibility, I feel is to give you everything that I know, and then you have to make the choice of how you're going to execute. And that's where I'm going to go today. So what most people do is they become lovers of education, lovers of learning, and still at taking action. They literally just like freeze, they overthink. I mean, a lot of you guys would even if I asked you straight to your face, like, hey, when you're dealt with something, how do you process? And a lot of you guys would say, hey, I overthink. I think about all the scenarios that can go right, all the things that can go wrong. And a lot of you guys would qualify yourself as that. So, one, words matter. Catch yourself how you speak about yourself. Start thinking about it. And the way I'm teaching myself to do this, to give you really straight truth on how I'm teaching myself, is I'm listening to how other people speak about themselves and they qualify themselves. They qualify themselves in their words. And words matter because what you say is what you believe. And your beliefs determine your actions. And so people will say, well, I'm not good at selling. Well, guess what? They're not because they believe it. And so their actions are, even if they work hard, they have put a lid on themselves. Think about martial arts. I'm not a good kicker. I'm not flexible. I'm not this. You're saying definite statements that you would not accept from your kids, you would not accept from your students. If your kid, your son or your daughter says, I'm not good at math, I will never be able to be this, I could never do that, I will never. If they say those kind of statements, you would say, what? Let's talk about that. Oh, you can't do it right now because you haven't gotten the ability and the skills. And so like listen to how other people speak, and then you'll be shocked how we put these lids on ourselves every single day. So you guys are great at listening to information with me. We are not yet great at execution because I believe a lot of you guys are thinking that it's someone else's responsibility. You're waiting for something to be perfect. You don't have it all figured out yet. Guess what? Nobody does. Steve Jobs didn't have everything figured out with the iPhone. That's why every single year they kept coming out with new ones. Right. And so, like, where in your business, we started 2 days ago. I asked you guys, what do you already know that you should be doing, just not taking action on? And did you change it on Tuesday? Did you change it on Wednesday? Are you changing it today? Or is it still the same thing today? And no wonder that we're struggling. So, speed is a form of currency. The ability to operate at high level speed, because I'm going to jump to the end of this meeting right now, is this: whether you drown in 10 inches of water or 10 feet of water or 10,000 feet of water, guess what? You still drown. So, dive fast. All right. Fail fast so you can learn something and then execute the next step faster. And so if it takes you 30 days to figure something out, it's not working in your month, well, the month's over. How about figure it out in 3 hours so you can pivot, so you can learn? And so I believe we're slowing down our success because we're overthinking, or you're waiting to something to be perfect, or sometimes your fear of the unknown. And so, like, I know for a fact, accidentally, a lot of times I was successful just because I just took action faster. It wasn't because I was smarter. It wasn't, I just didn't let myself overthink. I just took action faster. Once I saw that, hey, swinging for the fences, I have a better shot of hitting the home run as opposed to if I stand there and just watch the ball pass to me. I'm trying to wait for the perfect strike come down the middle so I can hit it. Because in life, guys, you already know this. You already know this, that most of the times you guys are not dealt the perfect set of hands in life, and you have to figure out how to make the best out of it. And so if you're waiting for something to be perfect, it ain't going to happen. Because I haven't really had anything great in my life come to me, just a perfect wrapped up bow tie, ready to go. So if you are a person that takes the almighty right here, the pen, and you've got the paper next to you, you've been taking notes and you keep reading your notes, and then ask yourself, well, why am I not taking the action steps to get there? Why am I not doing those 50 calls a day? There's something you're probably speaking out to the world that you're basically, putting context into the world that doesn't need to exist. You're what they call it projecting. And I hear this sometimes with my kids. They'll say something. I'm like, whoa, it shocks me when I hear them. Because I'm like, there's no way you've learned that before. Like, where did you put that lid on yourself? And then I'll catch myself sometimes saying the same thing. I'm like, well, no, that's, you know. And are there things that you could say definite statements on? Sure. You guys probably have some really hard beliefs because you've questioned your beliefs. Okay. There's a saying about We question all beliefs except those that we hold true to ourselves and which we never question. And so a lot of you guys have those ideas or beliefs that have been passed down to you by your family. You've never questioned them. And you just believe them so hardcore. You never ask yourself a question, why? Like, why am I this religion? Why am I this political stance? Well, because it's probably been passed down and taught to you, but you never paused. And in martial arts, we do this to our students sometimes. We dump so much into them and we believe we're almost like the almighty, and we don't teach them how to have free thinking. We don't give them the parameters to have that. And I want them to be able to do math. I want to teach them how to do the skill set so they can put it together. And the reason why you have to die faster is, think about this in a fight. If you wait for the perfect scenario to happen in a fight, well, just a competition fight, guys, just this a tournament, not a real fight yet. Okay. You're never going to win those battles. Like, you're waiting. I'll tell you, most of the times I've lost in tournaments is because I'm like in my head. I'm telling you right now, if you're in your head, you're dead. I'm in my head thinking, oh, if I blitz now, he's going to throw that kick. And I didn't blitz. And guess what? Time runs out. You still lose. I still lost either way. But I had a shot to win if I would have just gone, if I wouldn't overthought it. And in business, I won in business because I didn't overthink. I figured that out. Okay. So there's something holding you back why you're not. We've done the math. I've already done the math with you so many times, guys. It's so easy to do the math in your martial arts school. You know a number that should be your minimum. You know what a great location would feel like financially. You know what your classroom floor would feel like. You know how many referrals you'll get. You know, if you ask, who do you know instead of do you know? You know, if you do 50 calls a day, 100 calls a day, you know, nobody has the courage to do this, guys. But if you had one instructor and 3 salespeople, you know you'd have so much volume, you can't handle it. So if you didn't sign up 6 students last night, you're the problem, because it ain't that hard to do it. If I took Brett, Sarah, Ben, and Cameron and myself, just if that's what, 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 5 of us, right? So Ben, Brett, Sarah, and Cameron is the first people I can see on my camera right now. The 4 of them and me. If the 5 of us looked at one school's database and we say, hey guys, listen, we're going to call them all today. We have 1,000 people in this database. We split them up. It's 200 apiece. We call them all. If we just pretty much bottom barrel do this, it's almost impossible to get 10% of those people to book something with us. Almost impossible. If we're really good, we might close something on the phone. But if we took 1,000 calls and made 100 appointments over the next, 10 days, like, I'm telling you, we just don't have the volume to handle this. It's crazy. And so, like, if you guys need to make massive changes in your business, it's not that hard. If I had a team of 3, 4 people, I just put everybody in a room and say, guys, hey, this location is not doing so good. Everybody get on the phones. Here's what we do, and we do it together. And many hands makes light work. Okay. So, however, you need to be motivated, inspired, encouraged. However, I can serve you to do that better. Like, I know I've seen my own kids spend hours of their day being wasted on some device. I know when I was a kid, how many hours I lost to my life playing video games, or a young adult watching sports. What did I really get from it? And I enjoyed the moment, but I'd rather pay the price now so I can pay any price in the future, as opposed to right now. Think about your health. You guys eat a bunch of junk, don't take care of your bodies. You're either going to pay the price now by, spending more money on better food and working out, spending the time, or you're going to do it when you're older. And every time I travel, I'll see these guys getting out of the car, overweight, can barely move, knees hurt. They can't go climb that mountain. They can't travel the world. They can't get on a plane. And right now, guys, like, my dad's not in the health I want to be in, and I want to travel the world with my dad. I'm taking him on a trip for 24 hours here next weekend, I believe. And I would like to do more stuff like that, but his body can't take it. And at some point, he started giving up a little bit on his body. He's not inspired because he's not pulled towards a goal. You get everything in life you aim for, and he's not aiming for anything. And that's unlike him. He was not that way when I was growing up. But I can't force goals on you, and I can't force goals on him. So if you don't have that scary freaking thing that you would rather die if you don't get it. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's the problem with our world, is we have people who are accepting the discomfort they live in because they're not in enough pain. You guys are accepting the financial part of your business because you're not in enough pain. You figured out how to survive, and that's it. All right. And I'm serious about this, guys. If there's something you're not executing on, You're overthinking it. You know, like you come to terms with yourself because your business lid is your lid. Your ability to educate your team, the ability to get loyalty from them, the ability to get them to buy into what you're doing, the ability for them to have vision. And you've got to cast a vision. But maybe you're not the best operator because maybe you're the guy who started the company. You got the vision where it's going, but you need someone else to come and operate it. And maybe you got the wrong operator, or maybe you're in the wrong seat. So I'll take it to very simple things, and then I would love you guys to start bringing stuff to me. Okay. But think about this. Some of you guys never have your staff on the calls, which is your discretion. But I take the approach is the more information and education I give to my people, the better they are as a human being, which means the better they're going to be in their personal life and their professional life. And if there's nothing else I can provide them, is at least opportunity. And if they choose not to do it, that's on them. But then I at least know the kind of person I have, the character. If you give someone the option, hey, here's education, information to get you inspired or motivated, or maybe you hear something that just points you in the right direction, or maybe you hear something that motivates you to do something different, whatever. And they choose not to. However, they're stepping on the mat to be an educator, a mentor, but they don't want to really partake themselves. It tells me a lot about the character of the person I have. And then if they are on the calls and they're showing up, man, give them some kudos. And then have some accountability to each other. Like, hey, what did you take from that? Y'all should discuss. Hey, what did you take from that? Hey, what can we do to be better on this? Hey, what are we slowing down our execution? What are the things we know we're not doing that we should be doing? Just like if I was talking to one of these kids on the floor. And so then I'm bringing it to the mat. Guys, it's not what you teach on the floor. It's definitely how you teach it. You could teach the same skill for 12 months out of the year and nobody would know it if you're a great, maybe a remarkable teacher. And what do people need to learn something? They need to see so they can believe it. So if I verbalize it and they don't see it, they don't know where it's going. They need opportunity to fail and fail fast, which means they got to do reps. They need to be corrected. They got to be told how to do it better, shown how to do it better, and then make sure they're on the right path. And the biggest thing, though, none of that will matter if they don't know that you care about that. So the number one responsibility every time you step on the floor to teach is you better know everyone's name. You better know their background. You better know why they're there. And then you need to know their background from their family, because if this person has a 4-year or 14-year history with you that you project in the future they're going to go to, you're part of their life story. It's not just about teaching them how to get out of a chokehold or how to do a kick. That's just the vehicle to actually get to the person to fulfill the promise that you told the mom you can help with that kid's focus or their respect. And so when you don't call them out when they're late and they're sitting improperly or they don't have the right equipment, you're not teaching the discipline you promised the mom. You lied to the mom. And so if your staff's on the calls and they ain't getting to the gym and they're not training the martial arts and they're not trying to get better at their craft, if they haven't learned how to get better at correcting, if they don't wear the proper material on the floor, if they think they're above the students, if they show up to a tournament with their students and they're not wearing the same thing they require the students to wear, man, that tells you everything about the kind of person you have in your business. So if they're not bought into the vision and they're not trying to improve their life, they're hypocrites on the floor. And I'm not looking for perfection because none of us are perfect. But I need someone out there failing and failing fast so we can work together and get better as a team. That's how you can have financial success and have high quality students. I want to have best product and best known product, not just one or the other. Okay. All right.